Hello, hello. Tonight I want to talk about some pitfalls that you may run into in your first week of intermittent fasting, but also even next week. So, this week, your body has been adjusting to your 16-hour fasting window and your 8-hour feasting window. I hope that you stuck with it this week. If you didn't, make a goal to do it next week and stick with it. Because part of what happens when you are learning how to intermittent fast is you will have some symptoms. It's called a keto flu. Now, that's because your body is learning how to go into ketosis, which for some of us, it may never have done, right? For me, I'm not sure it ever happened before because I was a constant eater all day long, thinking I was doing something good, right? Okay. Now, just as a reminder, your body, when you eat food, it turns into glucose. That is sugar. Your body burns that for energy, and then it goes straight to your liver and becomes glycogen, which you continue to burn for energy until you eat again. And then you go to glucose and then to glycogen. Now, the glycogen that doesn't get used when you eat again is stored as fat. It's your body's way of saving it for later, so that when you don't have food, you still have energy to run the systems of your body, to help your heart beat, right? So when you go into what's called ketosis, and you may have heard of the ketogenic diet, and the idea of the ketogenic diet is to teach your body how to be fat burning and not sugar burning. Now, do we follow a ketogenic diet in this group? You can, and I would say that the majority of my food would be a ketogenic diet, but on a ketogenic diet, you are measuring macros and micros, and you're weighing stuff, and you're testing your body to see if you're in ketosis, and you're monitoring constantly, and you're in this state of constant monitoring of your food and your body, and I don't do any of that. I eat high fat, low carb without measuring anything. I just make sure that I have a lot of veggies, a lot of healthy fats, and I eat a moderate amount of protein. I make sure to get my nutrition shake. I make sure to get my supplements. And that's really all I do. And then I have a couple cups of coffee and a whole lot of water and mineral water. So I don't follow a ketogenic diet because I don't measure things, and I'm not going to. So what are some of the symptoms you may have experienced in your week of adjustment? And realize that some of it is the adjustment to the change of the eating schedule, and some of it will be withdrawals from things like sugar or high carbs or processed foods. The other thing is that you may have some adjustments because you have increased the fiber in your diet. If you've increased your veggies, your body is dealing with a lot of fiber, and you have some bad gut flora that is saying, no, 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 no. I feed off of sugar. I want sugar, meaning carbs and sugar, right? And so it's going to fight back, and it's going to cause you some uncomfortableness while you adjust. So some things that you may get some headaches. You may have been very tired. You may have experienced some constipation. You may have experienced some maybe moodiness. And you're thinking, well, why didn't you warn me about this if you knew it was going to happen? Well, that's kind of on purpose, because I don't want people to say, oh, you know what, this is not a good week for me to feel bad. You know what, maybe I'll start next week. And then people put it off and put it off and put it off to find the perfect week for you to not feel good. Guess what? There is no perfect week for you to not feel good. So I wanted you to go ahead and just start. So realize that you may have had some of those issues largely because of withdrawal from eating processed foods, high in not good sodiums, sugars and a lot of carbs. So, and you may have been on a very low fiber diet. And for those of you who are drinking your Shakeology, that Shakeology has an excellent source of soluble fiber and probiotics, prebiotics, and digestive enzymes. And your body's going to take a little adjusting to get used to that. And so you can either just keep pushing through, or you can maybe cut your dose in half and then, build back up. But don't get discouraged if you get bloated. Don't get discouraged if you get constipated. Don't get discouraged if you just overall don't feel that great, because that is part of the adjustment process. And it makes sense. I mean, your body, you've been living a certain way for a long time, and your body's used to it, and you have bad things going on, and your body's going to rebel a little bit. Now, there are a couple pitfalls, 5 pitfalls that I want you to make sure now that you should be hopefully past 4 or 5 days of 16-8. So you have gotten past your keto flu. And now I want to share with you 5 pitfalls that some people fall into that mess up their ability to get results from their intermittent fasting. So number 1 is too much coffee. And this is one that I definitely fell into. One of the things about coffee is, first of all, the caffeine helps reduce your hunger. So I just love coffee anyway. And the coffee, if I felt like I was craving food, I would drink a cup of coffee, or especially a butter coffee. And it just brought me joy, So I had to really be conscious of making sure I stick to my 2 cups. Like if I hadn't already had 2 cups of coffee, I'd go get one right now, because I just love me some coffee. It makes me very happy. So, and whether it's black or whether it's butter coffee, but especially butter coffee, I have to really monitor and stay on track. So I have a cup when I get up in the morning, black, and then I have a cup mid-afternoon with my butter and my grass-fed butter and coconut oil, and that gives me a little boost of energy. Some people actually say don't do that because you're taking away your body's ability to produce that energy by itself. So, some of you may not want to do that for that reason. I just really love it. So I have not gotten rid of it yet. And I don't know if I will. Well, we'll see. Number 2 is binge eating during your feasting window. And this is definitely something I have also fallen into, where I have had days where I just said, you know what? I feel like eating today, and I'm just going to eat. I'm going to eat all day in my feasting window. I'm going to eat and then I kind of make myself ill because I just overeat, or I eat things that I don't eat normally. So be careful not to binge eat, but also don't eat a bunch of crap during your feasting window, because that's clearly not going to help you get results. Yes, it's better to be intermittent fasting and eating crap than it is to eat crap and not intermittent fast. But here's the thing. You may be able to maintain a weight loss by intermittent fasting and eating poorly, but you will still create digestive disease, and you will not allow your body to heal. So keep in mind, our goal here is to fight disease as well as lose weight. One of the other things that you may experience is heartburn, and I definitely experienced this. I have a hiatal hernia. So one of the things that happens when you intermittent fast regularly is that before you intermittent fasted, you ate all the time. And so your body was just in this constant, your gallbladder rather, creating bile, creating stomach acid. And then you stop eating so much, right? You reduce your eating window. And like for me, I eat 2 meals and a shake. And what happens is that my body kept producing stomach acid for a while that I wasn't using. And so I started having some heartburn. And now, to help with that, I recommend doing the apple cider vinegar, either a tablespoon diluted with 6 to 8 ounces of water before bed or in the morning. Or you could do 30 minutes before each meal. Any of those things would be extremely helpful with that, but also helpful if you experience any sort of constipation. So that is also recommended for that. Mind you, that constipation is something that will not be a problem with intermittent fasting. It will just be a problem in the adjustment phase. So don't let it stress you out or turn you off from intermittent fasting. Okay, so that's 3. The 4th one is you may in the beginning have some sleep issues. You may be up more at night. Now, the eventual result of intermittent fasting is much better, deeper sleep without as much waking, or like you'll have great sleep. However, in the beginning, you may have some adjustment for sleeping. And then the other pitfall that a lot of people fall into is fasting too much too soon. And your hormones need time to balance. And if you fast too much too soon, you may cause more hormone imbalance rather than hormone balancing. So we want to be careful of that too. We want to do this gradually. And you may even want to, for some people, women in particular, it's not a bad idea to go 2 or 3 days without fasting at all, about once a month or once or every quarter or something like that, to just let your body let your hormones, go off and then come back. And your body loves that change anyway. So there you go. Those are some pitfalls that I fell into and you may experience yourself. And so I want to prepare you to keep an eye out for those things. But also I wanted to let you know that if you experienced any symptoms of the keto flu, or if you haven't done a full week of fasting yet, I want to prepare you that it is potentially coming. And if you feel extra tired, sleep more. If you feel a headache, rest. Let your body heal. The best way to heal is to sleep. So don't be discouraged if you feel very tired and you need to stop and take a nap. It's no big deal. Let your body go through it and come out on the other side and be grateful that you got there. Have a very blessed day. Fast long and feast well.